I know that you're the inventor of the skid monster, some special wheel adaptations to help people train for reacting to when a vehicle gets out of control and starts sliding. There seems to be some controversy about whether skid courses are good educational methodology or not.
Yeah, there's research out there that will show individuals that have gone through, quote, like an EVOC program, a skid training program, they end up getting overconfident and they have more crashes. That is on a limited amount of information because it's not based on a specific curriculum. It's based on just the concept of person learning the motor skills of driving. And it's not based on somebody being in the skid monster. Now there's a huge difference between somebody being in the skid monster and somebody being on a slick down course where they wet it down and there's one curve in the road and you go through there and the first time you wipe out, the second time you wipe out, the third time you wipe out, fourth time you do okay, and by the end of the course you got that mastered. But what is it? It's one curve and they know exactly where it's going to happen. With the skid monster, that curve could take be any place along the course that you have, so that they don't know when it's going to happen. And the correct activity is to show them the limitations of the vehicle, not that it's going to make them invincible. So with the skid monster, you always will have a failure if you go 2 miles an hour too fast into any situation. So you're never going to master the skid monster. And if we look at only the physical part of being able to control the car, that's easy to learn. But if we look at the mental part of how you're able to drive every single day and build up the criteria that you need for handling any situation. For example, the on target, off target. That movie that I showed today was showing a person that missed 5 opportunities to keep that car in control, but their mind was never trained to detect those opportunities. So if we talk about skid training, it has to be qualified. What kind of equipment is being used, what kind of criteria is being achieved, and what kind of instructor training has there been. And I could document 2 things as far as the skid monster. There was an extensive study in Lewistown, Montana, that uses the skid monsters, and that showed that the program is effective. A few years ago, we did training, well, 5 or 6 years ago, did training for the United States Air Force in Germany because they were having overwhelming number of crashes of their airmen off base going through some of those curvy roads on the highways in Germany. So they had purchased the skid monster. They went through the training of the mental part as well as the physical part. And in 2012, the United States Air Force gave that Air Force base in Germany the Outstanding Safety Award program for having been the best program worldwide in the Air Force. And they had a reduction of their crashes by like 30 or 40%. So it depends on, it's like most curriculums. The curriculum is the teacher. And if you have the right teacher and the right objectives and the right equipment. So there is no validity to just that carte blanche statement that training them in skid control is going to increase their risk.